Hello, everybody. It's Dr. Joe in the house on this Wednesday evening. Hope you're doing well wherever you are. And I've got a special session today. I'm going to try something different. As on Saturday, well, let's see if I can put it on the sticker. There you go. On Saturday, we have a live event at one of my to Femi's house here in Washington D.C. And it's a really classic, I think, very inspirational, very motivational success story, and where he was a new investor, just like all of us at some point, and he decided he wanted to pursue his real estate investing goals, and so he decided to pull the trigger, and he bought a property in Washington D.C. It's now gone to the point where it's finished. The rehab is finished. He's found a tenant, and the tenant's going to be moving in there next month. And so on Saturday we're going to have an event at his house. A great opportunity to see, walk through the house and hear his story firsthand, and also ask a lot of questions, network with like-minded people, and hopefully motivate you to want to pursue your real estate investing goals. So that's the event on Saturday. And so I interviewed, the plan was to have Femi live today, but unfortunately, due to a schedule conflict on his side, he couldn't make it. So we recorded a discussion that him and I had yesterday. And so I'm going to play that shortly. It's about 20 minutes long. It's a conversation, interview style. And then after the recording, I'm going to come back, and then we'll do the regular Wealth Wednesday, where I'll be live. And as usual, you can ask your questions in the chat box, and anything to real estate investing, landlords, tenant acquisition, renovations, tenants from hell stories, whatever it is, we'll be doing the same live. Put your question in the chat box, and I'll definitely answer them in the Ask Dr. Joe. So the session with the interview or the discussion with Femi is about 22 minutes. So watch that, and then I'll be back again in about 22 minutes from now, and then we'll continue the discussion, and then hopefully we can go to some Q&A. So if you got some questions, please get them ready in the chat box, and I'll definitely try to answer them to the best of my ability. So with that said, I'm going to try something different. Hopefully it'll work. And let's have a look. Okay, so step one and step two is now. Hey everybody, it's Dr. Joe here on this Wealth Wednesday. So we have a very special Wealth Wednesday today. We've got a special guest, Mr. Femi. And as you may know, Femi is a real estate investor based in the Washington, D.C. area, and he recently purchased several months ago a property, and so he's gone through the entire Brrrr cycle. And so I would like today's session really for him to share his experience, the good, the bad, the ugly, and I think it's a very inspiring, very motivational journey that Femi's gone through. And so I think you'll enjoy today's session, and it's a prelude to Saturday, March the 23rd, when we have an event at Femi's house here in Washington D.C., and where you'll be able to walk through, and we'll be able to deep dive further into his Brrrr implementation. And I think you're going to enjoy it. So please, if you're available, come and sign up. You can go to my website, www.joeactionable.com, where you can register for Saturday's event. There is a fee, just full disclosure, it's $49, but I think the value that you'll get is going to be 10 times that. And it'll be also an opportunity to meet like-minded people like yourself who are also pursuing their real estate investing journey as well. So that's for Saturday, March the 23rd at 11 a.m., 11 till 1. I think you'll enjoy it. So you can sign up at the website, joeactionable.com. Without much ado, I want to bring on Femi. So here he is, the man of the hour, the myth, the legend.
Myth
Here
and
he is,
legend.
the man himself.
I'm trying to be like you, Dr. Joe.
Drum roll.
It's a pleasure to
Okay.
be here.
Yeah. Okay. Very well. Again, it's an honor for you to be here and on this
Yes.
Wealth Wednesday.
Yes, sir.
And so, without much ado, maybe you can tell us who is Femi and why we should listen to him anyway.
The myth. That is Femi. Hi, everyone. Again, it's a pleasure to be here. Not a myth. We're trying to be a legend, like Dr. Joe. My name is Femi. As Dr. just said, I'm a real estate investor in the DMV area. Kind of, have a full-time job that I do, doing project management and portfolio management. Being interested in real estate as a possible source of income for financial independence, financial freedom, that'll move, if you will, so that one real estate is one of those ways, one of those streams of income to be able to achieve financial independence, and also to build generational wealth, right? And that's kind of the way I look at it, for myself, for generations to come, and also to be able to invest in some of the other things, potentially having real estate also be a source of wealth creation to invest in other kind of areas and things I'm interested in. So yeah.
Okay. So today we're going to focus on a particular house that you recently purchased.
Yes.
And we'll kind of at a high level talk about the Brrrr.
Yes.
That's the buy, renovate, rent, refi, and repeat.
Yes.
BRRRR.
Yes.
And so let's
we all are trying to perfect, like
yes,
you.
Yes. And so let's just get straight to it. You bought this house several months ago, and tell us why you chose this particular house.
Yeah, so I think the first thing when you're thinking about the Brrrr, right, is always kind of thinking about potential, seeing what other investors, right, or other people may not see. And I remember visiting this particular property and seeing that there's lots of potential there, right? It was a 3-2, I think 3-2 or 2.5.
3 bedrooms,
3-bedroom, 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath house. Had a basement, right ceiling height. When walk in, you could essentially see the potential there to be able to convert this into a 6-bedroom, 6-bedroom, 4-bathroom house. So it was essentially that potential there in the design, the possibilities and the design, and then also going back after seeing the house, right? I know the excitement of what's possible. The numbers actually work. Right? You could have all of these dreams and ideas in terms of what you think your design should be, right? But will the numbers work, right? In terms of being able to finance the project, and then also, like you said, part of the R is also refinance and exit, essentially, right? So that's so it was the combination of those two things. Okay. The fact that it would, there was potential, and also that, okay, this can actually be a Brrrr deal that will actually work. So that made me pull the trigger.
When you say there's potential, you saw a 6-bedroom from a 3-bedroom.
Yeah.
You saw 4 bathrooms from a 2-bathroom. Okay. Not everybody can see that. when they walk into a house. Yeah. So where did you envision these extra bedrooms and extra bathrooms were going to come from?
Yeah, so I mean, I should probably put an applause for you here, Dr. Joe. I have the privilege, right, of having known you, for a while now. Followed you on Facebook, YouTube, your Wealth Wednesdays, and also attend some of your courses as well, right? So that obviously helped to kind of know what to look for, right? What to think about, how you see these things, right? So again, the house was 3 levels, right? So that was the main level, this basement, and then there's that was a huge primary suite at the top level. So there were three potential bedrooms on the main floor, and then there was one on the second floor. So the question was, where do we get the other 2, right, additional bedrooms? And that's where the basement comes in. And going to the basement, like I said, there's things you have to look for. right? And I know on Saturday we're going to talk a lot more about it, so I don't want to get too into the weeds. There's enough height, ceiling height and clearance, right, to be able to put bedrooms in there. Yeah, obviously you have to have the space to make the bedrooms, and when you have bedrooms, you have to have space to make a bathroom as well, because you can have a bedroom with a bathroom. You have to have, the possibility think about egress windows, which are some of the requirements making. So all of this, and so I think the additional two bedrooms kind of came from the basement.
Yeah, I think also, from the get-go, you wanted to rent this out. This is a portfolio hold.
Yes.
And one of the things you wanted to implement the Section 8, game plan. And
yes.
One of the things about Section 8 is that the rent that you get, one of the factors is the number of bedrooms.
Yes.
So it's in your interest to get more bedrooms, because
yes,
you're going to get more rent. And so on. So we'll get to that renting part a bit later on. So anyway,
yes. I was holding the conversation for that. Yeah, but yeah, you're absolutely right. This is a Brrrr with a Section 8 twist. We're going to talk more about it. But then, so when I'm going into any a building, where I'm always thinking about how many bedrooms, because again, bedrooms equal the gross rent.
Exactly. Okay, so you saw this house. You could see the potential. And the next thing we have to do is to put it under contract. And obviously we have to get the money. I know that you're a wealthy man.
Hey, trying to be like you, Dr. Joe.
Right. So obviously you have to get finances from sources. So you want to kind of tell us about, we don't have to go into too much detail, but some of the, the type of financing that you explored and what you ended up using in the end.
Yeah, so usually kind of the quick ones that most people remember, right? I thought about the commercial lending route, right, which is the kind of banks. Hard money was another one that I looked at as well. So obviously also self-financing, right, if you could do it, right? I also thought about private money as well, right? Raising funds from friends and family, or acquaintances and people who may have potential funds that you could pull in, right, to invest in this. So ultimately, after kind of looking at all of those options, kind of the hard money route was the one I ultimately selected. For various reasons. I don't know if we want to get into that or leave that till Saturday. But that was, we'll leave that to Saturday. Teaser for Saturday. Register.
So you opted for the hard money route. For the acquisition and the renovation. And so that's where the financing came in. I know that this particular property, you got it through a wholesaler. And so maybe you can talk about some of the lessons learned from that experience.
Yeah, wholesalers, fun. Yeah, okay. But any wholesalers listening, we love you. We want deals from you. But this particular wholesaler, or should I say wholesalers? I didn't find out until the end. So let me share the experience. So this was a wholesale deal, and it was a little challenging, to put mildly, and to be polite about it. But it was very kind of challenging working with this particular set of wholesalers. One of the things was that initially we thought we were dealing with one person. We actually even found out that there were multiple people kind of linked to the deal, right? So when they all essentially, long story short, they almost essentially kind of killed the deal, because when the lender came in, the lender also, again, when we started, everybody thought we were working with one wholesaler. There was one person we had contact with, and then when it was time to essentially close, we found out there were other multiple people that needed to be paid, and which we weren't aware of. And the lender was like, no, we've been dealing with one person. We assumed that this was going to be a one-person deal, right? And then they actually asked, okay, can the wholesaler produce any kind of agreement between all of these other people that they had to pay? And they couldn't, right? So the lender was almost going to pull the plug on this, but thankfully, the team that I surrounded myself with, yourself included, and the realtor, were able to help kind of step in and say, yeah, help us save the deal.
So yeah, I think the lessons from that is obviously you need to be aware of the contract and you need to know who you're dealing with in terms of
how many people you're dealing with.
How many people, layers, and so on. So that's a lessons learned from that. Okay, so we bought the house, we got the money. Next thing we have to do is to do the renovation. I mean, that's a whole
different ball
live stream by itself. So we've only got a minute. So let's just focus on the key lessons learned from the transformation of this 3.5 to a 6.4.
Key lessons there. Number one, top lesson. You're always going to underestimate your budget. You're almost always. But let me say always. So that's absolute, right? So there, I don't want to say absolutes, but you're almost always going to go over budget, right? So you want to always have some money in reserves because things are going to come up that potentially your contractors, no matter how good intentions they are, or even yourself, you will not see until you actually start the work, right? Things will come up that you don't anticipate, so you always want to have contingencies and also have even some, if possible, if you have contingency behind the contingency as well, funding as well. So that's one. Also, dealing with being able to, manage, having good contractors is super, super, super important. And I know, I'm sure, you say there's a lot of wealth wins, Dr. Joe, right? The contractors will essentially make or break this point of which is the, the big part of the project. So I think those two will just keep it, like you said, 1 minute. Those two things, the budget, always have backup, and also making sure you get really experienced and good contractors. This I can't overstate that enough.
Yeah, I know this was a pretty big project, and it was fully permitted. And so as part of that process, you have to get drawings approved by the city. Yes. And then on top of that, you have to get inspections to make sure everything's above code and compliant with code and all that kind of stuff. So several inspections through that entire process. Yes. And ultimately, there was a final inspection, which was approved. Yes. And so you get inspections from the city, but also you have the bank. Yes. They have inspections as well. So there's a whole bunch of different inspections taking place and so on. Okay, so we've got to the end, and we got this beautiful. We transformed this ugly duckling into a beautiful swan, as they say. House, right? It almost flew away, huh? And now we have to go out and find a tenant, so we can kind of close this loop. So I know that we went through this process for you finding the tenants. You want to kind of share some of the key highlights there and why you selected the tenant that you did?
Yes. So again, like I said, always kind of followed your model, right? In terms of, looking for, especially when you're doing Section 8, right? Obviously, you've got, stereotype out there about Section 8, but that's not always true, right? Actually, you always say they're tier 1 tenants, I should call them, within, that actually hold a voucher, right? So if you're going to attract those kind of tenants, right, one of the things you have to do, which we did for the house, is to stage it, right? Because again, you won't trying to make a good first impression, right? Someone has, you're looking for someone who is, going to be able to, keep the house, right, and not, damage it, right? Keep it as their own, be, not going to give you too much drama the time, because again, this is a buy and hold strategy essentially, right? You're going to be in here for a long term, and again, we'll talk more about that, right? So you need to, and this kinds of tenants, right, are, they have options too. They have other landlords vying for their, for them as well, right? So one of the things, creating a great first impression. So staging is one of the things that we did to be able to kind of attract those type of tenants, and then attract those applications. And then we go to the screening part of it, again, which I won't get into detail. You have to be able to screen, right? Because again, I'm sure you've got stories, Dr. Joe, as do I. Stories of screening, right? Because a lot of people, fill the application form and they put something on there and tell you something that it necessarily are not, right? So how do you weed? How do you go through and screen and make sure that you're getting the best? Again, best. Someone's going to keep the house, is going to pay the rent on time, is going to, it's not going to be a headache to deal with, right? Through this entire process, that's really important. So we staged, we did, I think we showed, I think for about a week. Also, first of all, I didn't know if I want to get into it. We posted it. We got a lot of applications. People came in, we showed for like a week. We got a lot of applications. Then we had to go through that, screened, and then ended up ultimately picking one. And then also that part of the screening process, your screening process that I follow, Dr. Joe, is the house visits and the home visits. And again, getting more detail on this on Saturday as well. But we did home visits for the top applicants, right? And again, why do we do that? Is if people are gonna, if the way people keep their house, as I'm borrowing Dr. Joe's phrase, the way people keep their house right now, where they live right now, is potentially how they're going to keep your own house. So you listen to them, right? So you want to make sure that you do, and we're very upfront with folks about that, right? To say when they sign up for the application during the open house, we're upfront about it, saying we're part of our application screening process is that we're going to visit your house. Are you okay with that? And a lot of people, again, if they don't have anything to hide or their houses are in good condition, they're willing to, they all for sure, come on. All of the top applicants that we picked, we actually did visit their home until we ended up.
Why did you pick the one that you did?
Again, I don't want to get too much into details, right? But like I said, again, it was that whole checking all of those boxes about in terms of the screening, right after we, screening, part of it is, calling, doing landlord references, right? That was one. The home visit was, the tenant's home was in, pretty impeccable shape, right? Which is kept it and all that. The landlord references checked out, right? And again, from the conversations and interactions, it was clear that this was somebody who was mature and who's going to kind of be, easy to deal with. And also, importantly, pay their rent on time.
I think you made the right choice. I mean, I was with you during that entire process.
Yes.
And I felt very good. First of all, on the number of quality applications you received.
Yes.
And on top of that, because you got a lot of quality applicants who really wanted your house, you're able to raise the bar in terms of the final person. You didn't have to settle for second rate or second tier. You raised it high, and this person, as far as I'm concerned, is a top tier. Tier one. I don't think you'll have any problems with this particular tenant, and so on. Okay.
And just a quick point to that. Part of this process, right, of doing this, right, going through this, is also that you get really high quality applicants, and some of them we had to say no to, actually, right, which was a hard part too. And again, we could talk about that.
Yeah. So I think So then after that, obviously the next thing, so we'll kind of have to wrap this up now. Is you filled the paperwork for Section 8.
Yes.
I mean, we'll talk about that, on Saturday.
That's another ball game entirely. That process.
And then we kind of get into the close, whereby now this project's pretty much done.
Yes.
The tenant's going to be moving in shortly.
Yes.
And you'll go through the refinance process for replacing the short-term money, the hard money, with permanent financing.
Yeah.
And then you tell me, do you think you'll be ready to go to the next one, or are you done?
Absolutely. I was ready yesterday, right? The funny thing is, right, maybe I should probably share this, right? When you're going through this process, as we've talked about, there are a lot of challenges, and some of them we mentioned a lot. We'll get more in detail at the event on Saturday. And there was a point where I was like, I remember calling you, Dr. Joe, this is getting a little intense, and I thought more intense than I thought. Right? Again, being a busy professional, like I said, I have a day job that it's not a typical 9 to 5. Takes more than 9 to 5 in terms of the amount of time. Also, family responsibilities, right? Also as well with that. So just having this as well as one of the other things, and then getting all those challenges was kind of tough. But once you get over those humps, right? Again, the team you surround yourself with, right? It kind of, again, list the realtor, the contractors, all of those folks, the lender, having you as a resource as well, kind of help through all of that. Now I got to a point where we're 3/4 through the project. I'm like, you know what? I'm ready to do another one. Let's go. So again, folks shouldn't, I guess the point I'm trying to make is folks shouldn't really be scared or worried or afraid, right? I mean, you wouldn't really know until you do it. You just gotta, don't let analysis turn to paralysis, essentially, right? Just, you have to do it. And then once you get over those humps, it's great. And again, the impact of this, what I love, if I could quickly mention about is that Section 8 choice. this the social impact of this. Part of my day job is also one of the things in my job that I do is doing social we do creating impact in underserved communities, right? So this is big for me in terms of the impact on these families that we're making, and to see the joy and the happiness in their face, and the fact that we have to turn away some of them is actually a motivating factor to say, okay, maybe I need to do more, because there are so many of these families out there that deserve a safe, healthy, clean environment.
Yeah. I mean, Femi is a 6-bedroom house,
yes.
And he had several. Yeah, in fact, we had a lot of people inquiring.
Yes.
And on top of that, a lot of people came to the house, and a lot of people applied. So even those 6 bedrooms vouchers, you think who has this? The demand is great.
I was getting calls after we moved the listing. Yeah.
And the supply is very limited, so it's a great business opportunity. Yeah. And if you are considering entering this, and as I say, it's not easy, but it's definitely doable. Yeah. And I think that hearing Femi's story, hopefully it's inspired you, hopefully it's motivated you. And as I said, we will be having an event on Saturday where we'll delve down in more detail, to this. And you can sign up for Saturday's event. Go to the website, www.joeasamoah.com, www.joeasamoah.com, and there's a link there which you should be able to press and then register that way. So I think we are done for today, Femi. And is there any words of wisdom?
When you're having fun, time flies, huh?
Yeah, time flies.
Any other words? We can talk about this all day.
Any other words of wisdom you want to share to the audience before we wrap it up?
I think a lot of nuggets we've kind of dropped in between, but I think what I want to say is just take the leap. If you're already kind of thinking about this, want to do it, I think you should just go for it. This is you get tremendous opportunity, not just financially in terms of the return, but also the impact we're making. At least for me, that's a huge part of it. The impact on those families, and also in addition, I think the financial aspect of it is. So please, come to the event. You can get more details. But I think I want to encourage folks to you can do this. As you said, there are a lot of challenges, but if I can do it, you can do it too, right, Dr. Joe?
If Femi can do it, you can do it. I can do it. Anybody can do it.
Yeah.
And so with that said and done, thank you very much, Femi, for taking time to spend with us.
Pleasure to be here.
Wednesday.
Thank you.
And again, you're a source of inspiration, and I'm very, very proud of you. Very happy for you and your family that you took the initiative, you took action, and you took it all the way to the end. So congratulations.
Yeah.
And so with that said and done, my friends, I will see you hopefully on Saturday, March the 23rd. You can go to the website, www.joeasamoah.com, to register and sign up. There is a fee, so just let you know, full disclosure, it's $49. But I think that if you come, you'll get 100 times what you're going to pay.
Absolutely.
And there is food, so bring your empty stomachs, and there'll be some drinks there as well. And also a great chance to network with other investors just like yourself, and you can meet like-minded people. So it's education and networking. So again, hopefully I'll see you on Saturday, March the 23rd. Register at the website, joeasamoah.com. And with that said and done, my friend, Femi, thank you very much. And hopefully we'll see everybody on Saturday.
Yes, looking forward to it.
Okay, bye for now.
See ya.
Okay. I'm back. So that was Mr. Femi. So what do you think? I thought he did a great job. It's very, as I said before, it's a very inspiring project, very inspiring story. And, we're kind of approaching the 3rd month of the year. So going to the end of the 1st quarter. And then the question becomes, we all had goals at the beginning of the new year. And so where are you on your goals? Where are you on your journey? And, at the end of the day, we can write goals all day long. But in order to achieve our goals, our financial independence goals, whatever they are, it requires action. And without action, it's really just a meaningless exercise. So hopefully, Femi's story, he took action. Hopefully that will encourage you, will motivate you to revisit your goals and see where you are, and hopefully encourage you to take action as well if you haven't done so already. So, as Femi said, it's not easy. He went through trials and tribulations, went through ups and downs, but he got it there. And I said, I'm very, very happy for him. And he's ready for his next one. So, so yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, you really learn the best by just doing. You can watch YouTube videos all day long, but nothing substitutes actually taking action and doing it. So with that said and done, we're gonna if you've got some questions, please put them in the chat box. We're gonna go to Ask Dr. Joe in a second, and so please, anything to do with real estate investing, anything to do with the Femi story, anything to do with Saturday's event, please put them in the chat box and I will try to answer them. Again, if you want to attend Saturday's event, go to the website, www.joeasimo.com, www.joeasimo.com. There should be a button there on the web page or homepage, which will allow you to press and then register for Saturday's event. Again, full disclosure, it is $49. It's not free. But I think you're going to get 100 times the value out of there. I think you'll really enjoy it. You really will. It's such a great story, and also gives you a chance to see how we turned how Femi was able to turn a 3-2 into a 6-4. How do you do that? And what were some of the decisions that he had to go through? Why did he buy that house in the first place? And what were the back and forth in terms of the negotiations to get to the final price, and then the renovation, the design that we had to go through during the rehab, the inspections, the permits, the electrical, plumbing, HVAC, carpentry, all that stuff we went through, and ultimately finding, selecting, and completing the paperwork for a tenant. That's all we're going to cover on Saturday, plus more. And also, hopefully, you'll be able to network with like-minded people. So go to the website, www.joeasimo.com, and and you can register there. I think you'll enjoy it. So again, if you want to shoot me an email, you can always shoot me an email at joe@joeasimo.com, joe@joeasimo.com. And if you have a one-on-one you want to meet with, you can book a one-on-one session with me. Again, you go to the website. It's called Ask Dr. Joe. If you got a specific question, that's pressing for you, or something that is kind of perplexing you, book a one-on-one with me, and I'll be more than happy to do a deep dive with you. So that's it. Let's kind of go to the Q&A, the Q&A, and see if we can get some of these questions answered. Okay, let's have a look. Janitor on fire. Okay. Hello. Hope you're doing well, Janitor on fire. You got to tell me who your name is and where you're tuning in from, Mr. Janitor on fire. Okay, who's this one? Intellectual Conversations with BJ. Hi, Dr. Joe and Femi. Dialing from DC. Welcome. Intellectual Conversations. Interesting name. Again, if you got some questions, please put it in the chat box, and I'll definitely try to answer them shortly. So Get Loibster, hey, how's it going? And I think you're from Phoenix, Get Loibster. So hope you're doing well in Phoenix. Let's have a look. Hello, Janitor on fire again. Intellectual Conversation with BJ. Were the renovation costs rolled into your hard money loan? In other words, how did you pay the renovation costs? In this case, again, we're going to cover all this on Saturday, but yes, Femi opted for a hard money loan, and with a lender, and it covered the acquisition and the renovations. So most of the acquisition and all of the renovations was covered into the loan. And so let's have a look. So that's how he funded most of the project. the remainder project he had to fund by himself, so using his personal savings and so on. How I normally do my deals, I normally use a 3-part strategy. Femi didn't do this on his, but I used a bank. He used hard money lender. I use private investors, people that know me, like me, trust me, and to fund part of my deals. Femi hadn't reached that point where he had private investors, but I use private investors for my deals. And then Femi used personal funds, and I use personal funds as well for the delta. So he used a 2-part strategy, hard money and personal money. I typically use a 3-part strategy, personal money, bank financing, private investor, and then personal money. So that's how we funded that, the acquisition and the renovation costs. So hopefully that answers your question, intellectual conversations. Again, if you got some questions, please put in the chat box, and I'll definitely try to get to them. Next question is, are you able to share some numbers such as purchase price, repair cost, after repair value, maybe for an appraisal, what the rent is, etc.? Again, we're going to go into more detail on Saturday. I think it should be okay if I share some of them. I think he purchased it for about $519,000. Depending on where you are in the country, that may be a lot of money, but in the DC area, it's not a whole lot. In fact, that's a good deal. It's in a neighborhood. I think the appraisal came in, the after repair value. We haven't done, he's in the process right now getting the tenant in. Once the tenant's in, then you can complete the refi, and then we can schedule an appraisal. I think the appraisal is going to be in the upper 900,000 after repair value for this house. $200,000 for the renovation cost, and the rent, we're in the process right now. I think it's going to be approved for around $6,000 a month. So that's high level. So he will cash flow, so you can cash flow with even paying $500K and $200K on the rehab cost. The reason why he's able to cash flow is because with Section 8, the rents are based on the location and also based on the number of bedrooms. And so he has a 6-bedroom house, which has higher rent than the 4, has higher rent than the 5, and he's able to cash flow with a 6. So he's making money. There's equity, at least $100,000, couple $100,000 equity on day one, and it's in a great location. And the goal, based on the tenant, she wants to stay there forever. So she's very happy, and she wants to stay a long time, even though the rent is $6,000 a month. $6,000. Can you imagine that? Somebody who wants to stay in this house forever at $6,000 a month. You cannot get that with market renters. You can only get that with Section 8, because the tenant's portion is going to be a fraction of that. So they live in a great location, great neighborhood, great landlord for a few $100s a month. How long would you stay in a house if you're able to live in an $800,000, $900,000 neighborhood for a few $100 a month? You'll want to stay there forever as well. And that's the part which why I love the Section 8 program, is because you can get long-term tenants, even at these higher rents, which you cannot get with market renters. It's just not possible. And if you get a tier 1 tenant like what Femi's got, they are, I mean, we did a home visit. The house was immaculate where this tenant family lives. Great family, great story. It's really a blessing and a joy, as Femi was saying, to be able to, do good and help this family on their journey. So that's what it's all about. You can make your money, but also you can make a difference as well. Okay, I think I answered most of the questions there. Let's have a look. Janitor on fire. Okay. Let's keep going. Could you share your real estate investment background, i.e. your portfolio and the diversity therein? Currently researching property management software apps. So if you have any insights on this, please freely share. Okay. If you're referring to me or Femi, I'll talk about myself. As you know, I've been doing this for about 35 years. Femi hasn't been doing it that long. He has his primary residence, and this is one of his first real estate investment properties. And I do Section 8 because of what I've shared with you in the background. Femi opted to do Section 8 as well because it just makes a lot of sense. And so I'm kind of flipping between Femi and I because I'm not too sure who this question is referring to when you say share your real estate investment background. So I'm going to do both. So I'm very experienced. Femi is on his journey. And, I have a pretty decent portfolio here in the Washington, D.C. area. Femi's in his growth phase of his portfolio. My portfolio is primarily in the Washington, D.C. area. I have most of my tenants are voucher holders, although not all of them are. Most of them are. And I do have some market renters. It's really on a case-by-case basis. But most of my tenants are voucher holders. And so diversity. Same thing with Femi. This will be a voucher holder for his property. Currently researching property management software apps. So your insights. It depends what you want to do. Get Lobster. If you want to manage properties, manage rehabs, there's lots of programs out there. There's Buildium, Appfolio. There's what's the one we use? There's a whole bunch of so many of them out there. Tenant screenings. Anyway, there's a bunch of different apps out there, and cloud-based apps. A long time ago, they used more of a downloaded software that you used to plug in. But nowadays, everything's pretty much online. So there's a lot. If you're a member of Bigger Pockets, I think they have a packet where it's free, and and so on. So there's quite a few software apps there. It depends on your requirements, and some apps are more focused for large portfolios. Some of them are more focused on smaller portfolios, and but they essentially all can manage tenants, manage properties, manage the funds, and provide some level of reporting, and so on. Okay, and in terms of managing the rehabs, I use another software, what is it called? Flipper's Cash Flow Analyzer. There's also another one called Landlord's Cash Flow Analyzer. There's a whole bunch of different software. So it's always changing. So I'm not going to tell you which one you should use. I think you can do your own research and then pick the one that makes the most sense to you. Okay. Dr. Joe laugh is so contagious. Okay. Thank you for this session, Get Lobster. You're welcome. Janitor on fire. Thank you. Again, if you got some questions, please put them in the chat box. I'll do the best I can to try to answer them. It's now 7:45, so I'm going to wrap this up very shortly. What was the initial square footage of Femi's house, and was more added? If so, how many? No, Femi's, I think it's over 2,000 square feet. I forgot. I think it's 22. I forgot the exact number of 20 square feet. He did not add. It was really leveraging and maximizing existing space. So he took the same footprint and was able to go from 3 bedrooms, 2 baths to 6 bedrooms, 4 baths without any additions. So he did not go up. He did not go left and right. He didn't go backwards or didn't go down. He just took an existing footprint and figured a way how to get 6 bedrooms when only 3 was there before. Leveraged the basement, made 2 bedrooms in the basement, and got another bedroom on the first level. So, and there was another bedroom on the second level. So there was 2 bedrooms in the basement, 3 bedrooms on the first level, and 1 on the second level to make 6. Yeah, it wasn't necessary to do a bump out or whatever. It's just really being creative, seeing what's possible, having a vision, and and just being a little bit creative. And as a result of that, this is the beauty of Section 8. As a result of that, he took something that was 3 bedrooms that would have been negative cash flow. At 4 bedrooms, it still would be negative cash flow. At 5 bedrooms, he would have broke even. And at 6 bedroom, he can get cash flow. So, there's a lot to this thing, but it's definitely doable. And that's what I think Femi's story tells us, is that we can sit on the sidelines all day long, but there's people out there who are doing this, and that should be you. Why shouldn't it be you? And you don't want to be just sort of sitting on the sidelines, and 5 years later, 10 years later, you're sort of kicking yourself why you didn't buy. So so hopefully I answered that question. Infinite Valley, January on fire. Okay, good. Thanks for sharing more details about this deal. I am very happy for him. I'm also very happy for him. Very proud of him as well. Sorry, the question on real estate education back was for Femi. Okay, yeah. So I think I shared with you Femi's background. He's just like you, just like how I was when I first started. I was scared. I didn't know if this is going to pan out, if I was going to make all kind of mistakes, and I did. But we worked together, and I was able to help avoid making a lot of what I call unnecessary mistakes. Great for everyone involved, including tenants. It's a win-win. There are really no losers in this story. Femi gains as the investor, the tenants gain because they now have a great house in a great neighborhood and a great landlord. I think society gains now. You got a family which hopefully will be on a path to growth, and hopefully we can change the trajectory for the family. So it's really a win-win-win for everybody, and that's what I like about this. It's really a great opportunity. Jane Sandman, Dr. Joe, do you self-manage your properties? Yes, I do. I manage all my properties myself. I know you're probably thinking why, because I haven't found a property management company that I felt comfortable giving it to. I tried a couple of management companies in the past. It just wasn't working out. At the end of the day, it's your property, it's your financial independence goals, and you're the one who's going to, you're the one who should care the most about your property. I don't care what you say, and nobody should care about your property more than you. And people have hidden agendas, they do. And, I want to protect my interests. So I do it myself. It's not that difficult. I'm not saying it's easy, but it's definitely doable. I'm busy like everybody else, but we can put systems in place. But most of the problems you're going to get as a landlord, as a buy and hold investor, as a Brrrr investor, most of your problems, believe it or not, is you just got the wrong person in your house. You just got the wrong person in your house. That's where the source, the root of a lot of your problems are, and that's screening. If you mess up screening, you are dead, especially if you're in a jurisdiction where it's very pro tenants like we are. So I just don't feel comfortable outsourcing that to somebody else. I just don't, because my financial destiny is I don't want to give that to somebody else. I don't want to, I'm sorry, I just don't feel comfortable giving that responsibility to somebody else, outsourcing that to somebody else. So that's the reason why I'm intimately involved, especially in the screening process and selection process and managing that relationship. And that's why I get 5, 10, 15, 20, 25-year tenants, paying $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000. I believe in customer service. I believe in making sure my tenants are happy. I believe in creating win-win scenarios. They're my customers. Most management companies don't see it that way. Most landlords don't see it that way. They're just tenants. They're just quote-unquote doors. I don't see these people as doors. I see they're human beings, and therefore I wrap my whole business around that. So it's hard to find management companies or other investors who see the world that I do, and that's why I don't really have the same headaches as a lot of other landlords do. I mean, I've had headaches every now and then, but it's not to the same level as other people are. They said I was crazy to self-manage. Thanks, Dr. Joe. No, you're not crazy. If you're crazy, then I'm crazy, I suppose. Hopefully you're not crazy. But managing is not easy. It takes a certain personality. It takes a certain mindset. And if you have it, you can do it. If you don't have it, then you're better off getting somebody else to do it. Real estate. In DC, do you ever use private lenders for 100% of the entire project cost, as opposed to 3 methods you currently? No, I don't. Again, if you got some questions, please put them in the chat box. I'll we're going to kind of wrap up in a few minutes. Do I use private money for 100%? No, because we're paying $700,000 just to buy here, and then you got to renovate, which could be $50,000, $100,000, $150,000, $200,000. So you're talking $500,000, $600,000, $700,000, and I don't think raising that from private investors is hard. It's hard, and I don't think I can raise $700,000 from private investors. So I did the next best thing, which is I go to where the money is. Where the money is hard money lenders, banks, financial institutions. That's where the money is. So I go to them to fund the bulk of the project, and then whatever's left over, then I use private money, as opposed to using private money, to fund this entire. Because I mean, how long will it take to raise $600,000-$700,000? It's just hard. However, it's not so bad to raise 100,000 or 200,000 versus 700,000-800,000. So I'd rather borrow the 500,000-600,000, and then the delta, 50, 100, 150, I raise that private sources, as opposed to trying to raise $600,000, $700,000. That's that's why I do it. Hopefully that makes sense. Got it. That makes sense. Okay, good. James again. I'm looking to build new for my second deal. I'm looking to build new for my second 8. I suppose that's Section 8. Section 8 deals. What's your opinion? Build new. So you're trying to go new construction. If it makes sense, fine. I mean, it's each to their own. I don't do new construction. I usually take an existing structure and then renovate that to my criteria. So I haven't done any new construction projects. It may be there aren't a whole lot of new construction projects here in the DC area. It's it's an old city. So but yeah, some people are doing that. You could tear down a property, or you can start from scratch. If it makes sense, if the numbers make sense, if there's demand where you are, James, I think fine. It's just that I just don't do new construction. I don't do tear downs. So I just focus on what I'm comfortable with, what I think I'm good at, what I have my infrastructure network can do, and and so on. So I don't really diverge too much from the business model that I have, and and I've just got expertise in that, and the grass is always greener on the other side, as they say. Until you get there, then it's the same old, same old. Nothing's easy. Everything is hard work. If you're looking for an easy out for this stuff, it's not. It's just hard work. That's all there is to it. And if you're not comfortable with that, don't do it. But if you're at peace with that, then yeah, let's go ahead and do it. Nothing good comes easy, believe me. Thank you, Dr. Joe, for your help. I appreciate it. Thanks a lot, James. Intellectual Conversations. Can you talk about your student mentorship program? What is provided under the program and the costs? Oh, okay. Okay, here's what I suggest. If you're interested in be a part of the JV, it's called the JV Wealth Builders Program. JV, well, let's see if I put it. JV. JV Wealth. I'm going to put it down on the screen so that way you can go to the website and then you can check it out yourself. And then if you're interested, you can reach out to me. So let's have a look. Can you see that? So go to www.jvwealthbuilders.com. www.jvwealthbuilders.com. Wait a minute, try again. You get that? Hopefully you can see it on my screen. jvwealthbuilders.com. And you go to that website, and you can get more information about the program. Essentially, what it is that what I realize is that people want to do this, but it's scary. It's very intimidating. So I used to have a JV program where people used to get a chance to look over my shoulders as I do a deal. But I realized that a lot of people still didn't do deals, and I'm all about execution, taking action, as opposed to just consuming content. So the JV Wealth Builder is an opportunity whereby I'm intimately involved in your project. I help you find the deals, help you raise the money, help you complete the renovations, the transformation, help you find the tenant, move the tenant in, navigate Section 8. So I'm just more involved with the entire process, and I'm part of your team. I mean, that's all there is. So you're leveraging on my 35 years experience rather than you trying to figure it out yourself. That's really the gist of the program. And so you can go to the website, learn more about it. If you're interested, let me know. We can then schedule a one-on-one discussion. It's extremely competitive. I am not taking on many people. I don't want to. I don't have to. I don't need to. But if you're serious and you feel that you can be of benefit and this can benefit you, then yeah, by all means, shoot me an email or respond, and then we can schedule a one-on-one, see if there's a fit. There will be I'll send you a questionnaire, a survey to answer questions, and then and then we can talk about it afterwards. This is for Femi. He's gone through that program. I just got another student, Fitz and Corliss. They just bought their house a couple of weeks ago, and so I'm helping them through the entire process. In fact, today we got the design for their project. Looks where also that was a 3-2, similar to Femi's. We're turning that into a 6-3.5, and again, similar formula. They're going to be getting $6,000 a month rent once we get the Section 8 tenant in there. Okay, let's have a look. Keep going. Again, I'm not selling the program, so that's not. It's just it's just a conversation. We can see it. So good. You can see it. It's 8 o'clock now. I think we're going to wrap it up. Katie, hi, Dr. Joe. Does DC small area fair market rents based on ZIP? If so, is the SAFMR a consideration when you're looking for properties in which tenant? DC does not use SAFMR anymore. They do not use neighborhoods anymore. They've changed effective July the 1st last year. They do what they call comparable rents. And so they've changed it around now. So it's they call it rent reasonableness. There's a whole process for that now. It's different. I think I'm getting a better feel for the new process, and it's definitely different than the last time. It's definitely a lot more moving parts, and it's not so obvious what rent you're going to get. You may think you're going to get one rent, but you actually get something else. So, but I think I figured it out. Well, not figured it out, but I think I'm figuring it out. And so, like all things, it takes time and effort. But once you take the time and effort, you can hopefully try to make it work in your favor. So I think I'm getting to that point. Okay, janitor on fire. Thanks for everything. You're welcome. It is now 8 o'clock, my friends. I think I will wrap it up for the day. And again, hopefully I'll see you on Saturday for the event at Femi's house. And it's going to be a great event. And please, if you would like to attend, go to the website, www.joesmo.com, and you can register there. And I look forward to seeing you on Saturday. It's going to be a great event. And, it's great opportunity to learn, get motivated, network with like-minded people, find out how to find the right deals, rehab the right deals, find the right tenant, screen the tenant, navigate Section 8. We'll be covering all of that, going through the numbers, doing a deep dive. You get a chance to walk through the properties. You'll be able to meet with like-minded people. There'll be some food there. So definitely come along on Saturday if you can. And believe me, it'll be worth your while. And I think we are good for today. So what's this last question? Thanks. Mr. Burks orders my steps consultant. Thank you. I have purchased I have purchased property. Okay, well, I'm glad that you purchased the property. And I think we're done for the day. So, my friends, I hope I'll see you on Saturday. If not, then I'll see you next Wednesday for another Wealth Wednesday. Have a good night. Take care. Bye for now.